Have you ever noticed how time can feel like a thief or a gift? How a single minute in pain can stretch into eternity, yet an hour filled with joy flies by in the blink of an eye? Why does life seem to slow down when we fear, worry, or wait, and speed up when we are grateful, fulfilled, or in awe? Today, I want to reveal the secret behind this mystery, not from a calendar or a clock, but from the power of God's design. Time is not just measured by seconds, it is measured by presence, purpose, and perspective. And when we understand this, we can transform every moment, every minute, every hour into a miracle of progress, peace, and divine favor. When we say that time reveals true priorities, we are really saying that every second is a mirror that shows who we are, what we value, and where our heart is leaning. There are moments in life when 1 minute feels unbearably long, not because the clock changed, but because our focus did. Think about the times you sat waiting for a message, a call, an answer, an opportunity. The minute feels heavy, stretched, almost frozen. Your heart beats faster, your mind imagines the worst, and suddenly 1 minute feels like 1 hour. That minute didn't torture you. It simply exposed what matters most deeply to you. This is how God uses time not to punish us, but to teach us, to reveal to us what we are truly carrying inside. Imagine standing in a long line at a government office or bank. 5 minutes there feel like 50. But is it really about the wait? It's about your mind being somewhere else. Your priorities are pulling you forward while your body is stuck in the present. God uses these moments to tell you, pay attention to what you're chasing. Pay attention to what's pulling your energy. Because when your mind is racing ahead, it means something in your life has grown louder than peace. God is not slowing time to frustrate you. He is stretching that moment so you can hear your own need for clarity. Now think about the opposite. Think of those days when you meet an old friend, laugh, share stories, and suddenly hours feel like minutes. Why? Because in that moment, your priorities and your presence are aligned. Your heart is open, your mind is at ease, you're not rushing, not worrying, not pulling away from the moment. You are simply there. That's when time feels light, gentle, and fast. God shows you the truth. When you are connected to purpose, joy, and peace, time becomes a friend instead of a burden. Have you ever worked on something you deeply care about? A dream project, a passion, something that excites you. You sit down thinking you'll only give it 10 minutes, and suddenly an hour disappears like smoke. You weren't watching the clock, you were following purpose. That is the magic of alignment. When your priorities match your actions, time bends, flows, and moves differently. God allows time to accelerate around your passion because He wants you to feel the power of moving in the right direction. But when you are doing something you don't care about, every minute is loud. Every minute feels heavy. Every minute reminds you that you're out of alignment. This is not the universe punishing you. This is God giving you a signal. Pay attention. Time is telling you that your energy, your passion, your focus belongs somewhere else. Every stretched minute is a message. This is not feeding your soul. Take a simple example. A student studying for an exam they hate. 10 minutes feel like forever. But the same student can scroll through social media for an hour without noticing. Why? Because one task aligns with their entertainment. The other challenges their discipline. But if that same student discovers a subject they genuinely love, the hours spent learning suddenly become exciting, meaningful, and fast. Their priorities shift, and time shifts with them. That's how God works. He aligns the flow of time with the flow of your heart. Think of waiting rooms, doctor's office, job interview lobby, airport gate. These places reveal your priorities more than any diary ever could. If you're waiting for medical results, 5 minutes feel like 5 lifetimes. If you're waiting to meet someone you admire, the clock feels slow. But if you're waiting with someone you love, time becomes gentle, patient, almost invisible. The minutes didn't change, your heart did. God uses waiting to show you what truly moves you, frightens you, or fulfills you. Time becomes a teacher, and the lesson is always about the heart. Even in relationships, time reveals priorities. When someone truly values you, they make time feel easy. Conversations flow, hours feel light, and presence becomes natural. But when you're with someone who drains you, 10 minutes feel like a duty, time grows heavy, and your soul grows restless. This is God whispering. This connection is not aligned with your peace. Time speaks, and you must listen, because the feeling of heaviness is not random. It is a spiritual signal. Imagine a parent watching their child take their first steps. Those few seconds feel sacred, infinite, unforgettable. But the same parent, exhausted at 3 a.m., soothing a crying baby, feels every minute like an hour. Both moments are filled with love, but one is filled with gratitude, and the other with a temporary struggle. God stretches time in struggle to teach patience, and he shortens time in joy to teach appreciation. Both reveal priorities, what you cherish, what you fear, and what you must grow through. Think of your goals. If you keep delaying something because you don't have time, the truth is your priorities are somewhere else. Time is not the issue, commitment is. Because the same person who doesn't have time to work on their dreams somehow has time to binge watch a whole show. Time is honest. Time exposes truth. It shows what you value through what you give your minutes to. God doesn't hide this truth. He lets you feel it every day in the way time passes. Even silence reveals priorities. Sitting alone for 5 minutes with no phone feels unbearable for many people. Why? Because silence exposes thoughts, fears, and desires. When you sit quietly, time slows down enough for you to finally hear yourself. God uses quiet minutes to show you what's unresolved. The discomfort is not punishment, it is discovery. So every time you feel a minute dragging like an hour, pause and ask, what is this moment trying to show me? And every time an hour feels like seconds, ask, what part of my soul is aligned right now? Because time does not lie. Time does not flatter. Time exposes your heart with perfect honesty. And God uses that honesty to guide you closer to purpose, closer to peace, closer to who you were meant to become. If you'd like, I can expand key point 2 in the same powerful style. When we say that presence makes time valuable, we are touching a truth that goes deeper than the ticking of any clock. Time doesn't speed up or slow down because the sun rises differently or the seconds change their rhythm. Time feels different because of where your mind is, where your heart is, and how present your soul is in the moment. Presence is the secret ingredient that transforms a simple minute into a memory and a plain hour into a blessing. You can sit next to someone for an entire hour and feel nothing, or you can look into the eyes of someone you deeply care for, and suddenly 10 minutes feel like heaven. That difference is not in the clock, it is in the presence. Most of us live physically in one place, but mentally in another. Your body is at the dinner table, but your mind is on your phone. Your body is at work, but your heart is worrying about tomorrow. Your body is in the moment, but your soul is lost in yesterday. And when presence is missing, time becomes slow, heavy, and empty. God designed time to respond to presence. When you are truly present, time feels lighter, even sacred, because your entire being is awake. Presence unlocks clarity, peace, and meaning that rushing can never give. Think of those moments when you sit with your family, but your mind is somewhere else. Your child is telling you a story, but you're thinking about bills. Your spouse is talking to you, but you're checking notifications. When you're absent, the moment loses value. Time feels long, boring, or routine because your heart is disconnected. But the moment you decide to be fully present, truly listening, observing, appreciating, the entire atmosphere changes. The same conversation becomes meaningful. The same face becomes beautiful. The same minute becomes precious. Nothing outside changed. Only you did. That is the power of presence. Have you ever taken a walk without your phone? Just hearing your footsteps, feeling the air, noticing the colors around you. Suddenly the world becomes clear, peaceful, and alive. 10 minutes of presence during that walk can calm your entire day more than an hour of distraction ever could. We live in a world full of noise, screens buzzing, thoughts racing, responsibilities calling, and yet God whispers through silence, through breath, through the simple act of being fully where you are. Presence is not just awareness. It is a spiritual connection. It is you telling the moment, I'm here, I'm awake, I'm ready to receive. Consider how presence transforms relationships. You can spend hours with someone, but still feel lonely if they are not present. You can sit next to love enough. You can sit next to a friend who scrolls through their phone the whole time and feel like you weren't even together. But 5 minutes with someone who gives you full attention, who listens with their eyes, their heart, their soul. Those 5 minutes can inspire you more than hours with someone distracted. Presence is a gift, and not everyone gives it. But when someone does, time becomes meaningful. In that connection, minutes feel short because heaven compresses them with purpose. Presence also transforms work. When you work distracted, stressed, or half-heartedly, everything feels longer. Every task feels like a burden. But when you work with focus, passion, and intention, time moves faster and your productivity rises effortlessly. This is why people who love what they do seem to accomplish more in less time. They are present. They are immersed. Their mind is not drifting. Their heart is not resisting. Their soul is not fighting the moment. Why? Because presence brings power. Think about prayer, meditation, or moments of reflection. When you try to connect with God, but your mind is rushing through worries and your thoughts are scattered, even 5 minutes feel like a struggle. But when you quiet yourself, focus your breath, and truly open your heart, suddenly time feels still, peace enters, understanding flows. Those few minutes feel sacred because as presence brought you closer to your Creator. God speaks in the present moment, not in the noise of yesterday or the fear of tomorrow. Presence is where divine clarity is found. Presence also has the strange ability to turn ordinary things into extraordinary experiences. Imagine sitting with your mother, listening to her stories instead of rushing through the moment. Those stories, those words suddenly feel like treasures you'll carry forever. Or imagine eating your meal slowly, savoring the flavor, feeling grateful for the food instead of rushing through it. That simple act becomes nourishing not only for your body but for your soul. Presence allows you to taste life, literally and spiritually. Even small things change when you're present, drinking water, sitting quietly, looking at the sky, hugging someone, watching children play. When you observe these moments with full awareness, they feel richer, more alive, more meaningful. Presence turns routine into reflection, moments into memories, seconds into blessings. You don't need a special event to feel alive. You need presence. On the other hand, when your mind is scattered, time becomes your enemy. You feel rushed behind, overwhelmed. You wake up tired and go to sleep anxious, not because life is too fast, but because your presence is too thin. You're stretching yourself between too many thoughts, too many expectations, too many fears. God didn't create you to live in 20 places at once. He created you to live in one moment fully, this one. Presence teaches you to appreciate what you have, where you are, and who is with you. It teaches you to slow down enough to see the beauty, to hear the lessons, to feel the emotions you normally ignore. The biggest blessings of your life are not ahead of you or behind you. They are around you, but you must be present to notice them. When you look back years from now, you won't remember how many hours you spent scrolling or worrying. You'll remember the moments you were fully alive, laughing, crying, loving, learning, connecting. Those moments were not fast or slow, they were full, and fullness only comes through presence. So every time time feels empty or dragging, ask yourself not what time is it, but where am I? Not where your body is, where your heart is. Presence makes every second sacred. Presence makes time valuable. Presence is the doorway through which life reveals its deepest meaning. When we say that challenges stretch time for growth, we're acknowledging a spiritual truth that every human being experiences but rarely understands in the moment. Have you ever noticed how the hardest moments in life feel the longest? How a painful second can feel like it lasts forever, while joyful moments pass as quickly as a breeze? This isn't an accident. This is how God shapes us. In times of struggle, He stretches the moment not to break us, but to build us. Time slows down during difficulties because growth requires awareness. Growth requires oppression. Growth requires pressure. When life gets hard and time feels heavy, that heaviness is a signal that transformation is happening. Think about the waiting period before something important, waiting for test results, waiting for a job interview call, waiting for a financial breakthrough, waiting for someone to return your message with an answer that could change everything. Those minutes feel like hours. You look at the clock every 30 seconds. Your heart is restless. Your mind runs ahead of reality. But those stretched minutes are not empty. They're working on you. They're strengthening your patience. They're teaching you to trust what you cannot see. They're shaping your character, not your circumstances. The delay is not a denial, it is a development. Life's challenges have a unique way of putting us in slow motion. When you're happy, time flies because you're not thinking, you're experiencing. But when you're hurting, you feel every second. You feel the weight of it. You feel the length of it. You feel the discomfort of it. Pain pulls you into the present with intensity, but that intensity is not cruelty. It is God turning your attention inward. Just like a seed feels the pressure of soil before breaking through, you feel pressure before growth. Pressure is a sign of preparation, and preparation cannot happen without time stretching. Imagine someone going through a financial struggle. Every week feels heavy. The days move slowly because worry fills every corner of the mind. The question, when will things get better, echoes constantly. But that slow season is teaching discipline. It's teaching appreciation. It's teaching wisdom. It's teaching strength. A person who never struggled financially never learns how to value what they receive. But someone who has walked through scarcity learns to be resourceful, grateful, and wise. Time stretches in struggle because the lessons must sink deep. Think of physical fitness. When you're lifting weights or running uphill, those 30 seconds feel like forever. Your muscles burn, your breath shortens, and your mind tries to convince you to stop. That moment, that discomfort is where your body is changing. Growth happens in the stretch. Strength is built in the struggle. When your body feels the pressure, your muscles break and rebuild stronger. In the same way, when your life feels pressure, your faith, patience, and identity break and rebuild stronger. God doesn't stretch time to exhaust you. He does it to elevate you. Consider emotional pain, a heartbreak, a betrayal, a disappointment. Minutes feel long because the heart is processing. The mind is trying to understand what happened. The soul is healing. And healing cannot be rushed. Healing requires time. Healing requires stillness. Healing requires the courage to sit in discomfort long enough to learn from it. The slow minutes of heartbreak teach you how to let go, how to value yourself, how to choose better next time, how to recognize your own worth. The pain you feel today becomes the wisdom you carry tomorrow. But wisdom cannot be rushed. That's why the moment stretches. Even in small daily challenges, time stretches to teach us something. Think of sitting in traffic when you're running late. Every second feels like an hour. You tap the steering wheel, check your watch, pray for movement. But maybe that moment is teaching you patience. Maybe it's protecting you from something ahead. Maybe it's reminding you to slow down internally, even when the world around you moves fast. God often slows us down to save us from rushing into mistakes. Think of parents raising children. Sleepless nights feel like eternity. Potty training feels endless. Homework battles feel exhausting. But those stretched moments are teaching patience, empathy, responsibility, and love on a deeper level. And when those children grow up, parents look back at those long days and realize they were shaping their hearts as much as they were shaping their children. Growth is never quick, it is always stretched. Even dreams require stretching. Before a big opportunity arrives, there is always a season where time feels slow. A season where nothing seems to be moving. A season where your effort feels invisible. But that is the season where your mindset is being trained. Where your discipline is being shaped. Where your resilience is being forged. God stretches time before blessings so you can handle the blessing when it comes. If time didn't stretch, you wouldn't stretch. If you didn't stretch, you wouldn't grow. Think of a potter shaping clay. The clay must be pressed, twisted, stretched, molded, and sometimes completely reshaped before it becomes something beautiful. The clay doesn't understand the hand shaping it. It only feels the pressure. But the potter sees the masterpiece before the clay does. In the same way, God sees your finish line even when you only feel the pressure of the process. Every stretched moment, every slow season, every difficult hour is God shaping you into the version of yourself that is capable, strong, and ready for what's coming. So the next time life feels slow, heavy, and stretched, don't assume you're stuck. Don't assume you're forgotten. Don't assume nothing is happening. Something is happening inside you that you may not recognize yet. Time stretches during challenges because growth needs space. Growth needs discomfort. Growth needs patience. And growth needs the kind of awareness that only stretched moments can bring. What feels long today will make you strong tomorrow. And one day, You'll look back at the slowest seasons of your life and realize those were the moments God used to shape you the most. When we say that joy accelerates time, we are acknowledging a mystery that every human being has felt, but few truly understand. Joy is not just an emotion, it is an energy, a light, a divine spark that changes the way we experience life. When you feel joy, real joy, the kind that lifts your spirit and opens your heart, time becomes different. Hours begin to feel like minutes.